Anybody will graduate from abroad now, guys show me in full certificate before I go take them serious. Because I don't understand this kind of abroad graduation. So, finally, Chicago State University don't release all the academic records.
Okay.
The records come they show say the Bola Tinubu they are not female.
God have mercy upon us.
This is not what a man do. It can't be possible.
I've been forgetting gender. Everyone saying forgetting gender. I mean, the people when they use female for all of them don't pass away. You can't forget how to use female gender. Begin to learn how to use male gender.
Nobody is not there again.
What we don't put ourselves into. I mean, a transgender. Not trans. No, no, tell me say we don't get first female president. When I try to clear us some things, I'm begging. Me, we know what we did do. The college where they talk say he graduate from Lagos. Say he graduate in 1970. Or why they say they found the college in 1974.
Can I know my
What's going on?
Can I know my offense?
I've been a time traveler. And this is what Peter Obi go say. How can you be telling us something? Are we going forward? Are we going backward? Choose one date. Is it 1974 or 1970? The certificate where they come present can't be different from the certificate where Chicago they issue in 1979. I mean, Chicago they issue certificate by face. If they look your face, they go construct one with you according to how you look. For 5 face, press 1. Boom. If you're a time traveler, press 2. Boom, boom. If you want a special certificate that would be different from others, press 4 and 9. Boom, boom. Your certificate is ready. Now you can take it to INEC. Mamma mia.
We are at a point where we're challenging the process. These are part of what makes a nation. The process through which people come into office or assume or achieve anything is far more fundamental than what they do thereafter. It is important that the people come through the right door and not just jump into through the window and start saying, okay, let's move on, let's clean it up, let's do this and everything. No. So we're challenging the process. And that has to come to a logical end before any other thing. And it has to be something that people will seemingly, that's why I said, we have to begin by doing the right things. And not doing the right things is having the right process. On issue of qualification, I never said anything with regards to improving the degree or doing this. The issue of qualification is the issue of leaders making statements, doing things that are honest and truthful. This is an issue of honor and integrity. It is the foundation on which you build society. If you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, there's so many issues of certificates, age, all sorts of one falsification or the other, all over, within the leaders. There's no way people can doing this and be able to do the right things, because that means they live in a falsified life. And that is not good morally, and a sign it should be given to the society. There's so many great people in the world who did not go to school. And I can tell you, America today, one of the highest, or I would say the greatest president America has ever had, is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln did not go to a formal school. In fact, his entire education is less than 1 year formal education, because he came from a very extremely poor family. His education was by borrowing books and everything, which he did later. But he was able to show, if you read his history, you show that he came from a very poor home and did not have formal education. He didn't have to say he read the PhD here or he did this one here, and then there's an argument like what we're having all over Nigeria today, which is bringing the credibility of our nation into question. If you come to the UK, one of the greatest prime ministers, Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill is known to have had a poor academic record. In fact, his academic record was very bad that his father had to enlist him in the army. Even when he went to take an exam to be able to be enlisted into the British Military Academy, he sat it 3 times before he could pass. Eventually, he became a prime minister, became a great prime minister. You go to the corporate world, the biggest company we have today in terms of market value is Apple. The founder is a dropout, a school dropout. His history shows that. The second biggest company is Microsoft. At least Apple today is about 2.9, if I'm right, about 2.9 trillion company, when African GDP is about 2.9. So it's about the same thing as African GDP. The second biggest company is Microsoft, founded by Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a university dropout. It's written there. It's not, there's no question. The 4th richest person in the world, Larry Ellison, is a poor person. The mother had to give up for adoption when he was 9 months.
All right. So that's
so you don't really have to have all the degrees in the world to be great. But you need to be honorable about your past, so we can know who exactly you are and everything. The world are bound by great people who have poor past and no education, and that forms part of their greatness. Again, my dear friend Rufai, congrats, I heard you're now a doctor. So you're going to be more difficult on dealing with. So let me tell you, Rufai, first is that you can't float a currency you don't have supply with. It's like building a non-gated house in a criminal-ridden society. You have to have a defense mechanism. Nobody floats what you don't supply, you don't have supply. I believe, I wouldn't even, not just saying what we would have done, but I believe that now we have new CBN team. They have to look at the overall monetary policy, which, and if they focus on their job, which is exchange rate, inflation and everything, I know, it is again not something you announce haphazardly. It's something you look at. Nobody flows his currency without having adequate supply. When you don't have adequate supply, there were pressures, there were criminality in our exchange rate regime. Again, we should have worked on eliminating those criminality and excesses in our foreign exchange regime because there is strong unmet demands. The Naira was under pressure and a bit overvalued. Everybody knew that. So what you would have done is to devalue the currency. We were at 4.12. Before now, a devaluation to about 600 or thereabouts would have been it. We are trying to manage the supply by making sure that we deal with issues that is what controls your exchange rate. The fact is a simple thing, is your reserve. And what controls your reserve is your export. You have avenues and things that you would have exported. You're supposed to export from your oil to other minerals to everything. Is to encourage those things that will help to start dealing with issue of any more foreign exchange while trying to manage what you have. Rather than just leaving it open and say market forces. I can tell you, not even in the developed world have anybody left this currency to market forces. Because sometimes you might not control it. And now it's difficult to control. Because you cannot reverse your policy that you've sent down. So that's why I said this is an announcement effect that would have been well thought through by a proper economic team and consultation properly before announcing. You don't just announce these things in a market square and say we're going to do this.
Okay, Mr. Peter Obi.
Governance is different from that.
Mr. Peter Obi, I want to get you right. And that's why I ask specifics. Are you saying we should have devalued the currency to over 600 and go to look for money?
That's what I would have done. Go and read my listen. Yes, I would have done that.
So you're saying that go to look for money?
I would have devalued the currency, still stay where we with a management firm, making sure that whatever is available is used by the real sector.
But in all
removing the criminality, I can tell you, I know in that regime, I know, yes.
Mr. Peter, but in all fairness, to this government, where will the money have come from for them to now be able to keep that rate? Owing to the fact that the CBN report coming out saying that we are so encumbered that we probably only have around 3 or 4 billion in our reserves to be able to spare. So where will the money come to now defend the currency when we have a backlog of close to $6, $7, $8 billion in the first place? So are you saying you will have borrowed more to now defend the currency? I'm involved a little bit in finance. And I know that in every country of the world, they even trying to borrow money, even using a company. It doesn't matter what yes, you can do that. You are not borrowing to defend, just to defend the currency, but to stabilize it temporarily while you're working aggressively on your exports. It's not everywhere. We are not the first to do it. You can do that while you're working aggressively on your export, which if you look at what people are stealing and doing today, if we're able to do it, and remember what I said, manage the criminality side of it, like whether it's land tripping or anything. If you do it properly, I can tell you, you will be able to do it. And also, removing the fact that dollar has become what you can call underground currency of our economy. It shouldn't be. We have a currency called Naira. So you should remove it. All these things that people are using dollars to do, which are not productive, should be removed. If you remove it, I can assure you can strengthen the currency. But you have today, even if you want to do party primary, people are sharing dollars. If you have these people, that is not our currency. And that should be a stiff penalty in dealing with that issue. If people earn it legitimately, let them spend it the way they want. If people are doing business and earn it, let them spend it the way they want. But in a situation where it has become even a means of, call it corruption and criminality in our system, we should be carefully manage it.
Mr. Obi.
But if any
legitimate, like I said, even if you want to put it in your pillowcase, go and put it there. If you want to do it the way you feel you're safe, that's fine. But illegitimate one, if we remove all that, we can manage the rates. Why would work on our export in order to strengthen our currency? Countries have gone through this.